Hello there YouTube, about to do a prop comparison test, not only sort of in the thrust sense and current draw, but actually physically. I'm going to show you the difference between these props, and because not all props are the same basically. I think a lot of people just whack a prop on for whatever reason and they stick with it, they just go with whatever they go with. But there are a lot of differences, and the way they're shaped and also the lengths are not always quite what you think. And yeah, I'm just gonna run through these different style props and explain to you why I like TGS props, and also in other ways I also dislike the TGS props. But yeah, so what I've got here, yeah, I've got the TGS electric props, I've got APC electric props, and then I've also got APC gas props. So we're going to have to take a look here at what the differences are and why I think some are better for different setups. So because depending what setup you're using, you don't just want to use the first prop that you lay your hands on. It's finding what's good for the setup. Right, so basically, yeah, this is a TGS 6x4 prop, and they're pretty good, quite strong. I put a lot of thrust through these, and yeah, they're pretty good. But yeah, when you compare them to the 6x4 APC prop, there are quite a few differences. If you look at the tips are shaped quite a bit different really when you look at it, and I think that does make a difference on how they perform. I mean the pointier tip, but there's also just slightly more area on the prop. So if I just get this matched up here, yeah, you see there, if you can see that, there is a bit more area on the prop there. So you can see the black around the grey, there's a bit more area there. So I think that also helps produce a bit more thrust. And also, if you look at these props this way, you can, let me just get this lined up. That's it. There you can see. Right, there seems to be quite a lot of pitch initially in the APC prop. If you can see that there, or if I hold it up this way, that might be better. Yeah, look at the way, excuse the camera, it's getting out of focus, but if you look at the thing there seems to be zero pitch here. It seems to be quite flat there, and then it goes right up here and then down. So it's quite wide there, it's very thick there, but that's not where the thrust comes from basically. If you go on the principle of a wing, most of the lift is at the tip, so that would be the same as on the propeller. Most of the force is at the tip, so the way these come up and go right up here and then down is quite a difference. I'll just try and compare this to the TGS prop, get this in the right angle. So there we go. So you can see there's quite a bit of difference. Let's hold it up there, that's better. Yeah, there's quite a bit of difference there in the way that is angled up. So you seem to be getting a bit more current draw from the way that that is stepped up there, but where all your thrust is coming from is from the tip, so it's, you know, not producing as much thrust as the TGS prop does with the APC. It may, if you've got enough for you know, power to drive it, it may be slightly faster with the APC. I'm not sure, but what is better, having a bit more pitch on the prop or producing more thrust? I've got to think that the more amount of thrust that the TGS normally produce would outperform the slight extra pitch that you get with the APC. But yeah, excuse the camera, it's going out of focus again. But yeah, there's quite a bit of a difference there. So just get this focus, there we go. Yeah, so that's quite a difference, as you can see there, in the thickness, the way that the the TGS prop, if you look further out this way, seems to have a bit more pitch towards the end. So it's actually got a bit more pitch towards the end of the prop. As you can see, it's slightly thicker. So that's also what I think helps these produce more thrust. The other thing is also something a bit crazy. Let me just get a ruler here, and I'll clear it so we can see. Right, that is right on the end there, and if you look here, let's get that lined up. APC props are just a fraction under 6 inches. This is a 6x4, and as you can see there, it is just a fraction under 6 inches. And do the same with the TGS 6x4. Try and get this matched up. We'll get that on there, and you can see there the difference. That is quite a difference there. I'm not moving the prop. That is exactly on. Get that lined up again. That is exactly on 0. Yeah, exactly on 0 there, and that is on the 6, and that is cool. What is that? 3/8. It's like 3/8 above 6 inches. So you're actually getting a bit more prop there for your money. So it's just slightly above the 6-inch mark, which is pretty good considering it, and it does make a hell of a difference on the thrust. Right, but there is a difference with the TGS props, because all of the same equivalent sizes of TGS to APC, they're always slightly longer on the TGS, and you seem to always get a lot more thrust out of the TGS props. But like I said, that is 6 inches and below. There's a bit of a difference when you get to the 7-inch props. Because let me just do a comparison here. Right, that is a 6x4. This is a 7x5, and you can see it's about what you'd expect to go up by in all sorts of sizes. Well, in the different range of size of how it would go up from a 6x4 to a 7x5. But the one thing I hate about the TGS props is that is a 6x4. It's nice and slim. And then you go up to a sort of huge, great thick thing. Look at the difference. It's crazy. Just going up from a 6-inch prop to a 7-inch prop, and the size difference is ridiculous. Look at the thickness of the propeller. It's crazy. Yeah, it's just, I don't know why it's just goes up so huge. It's really annoying. Because it kind of goes in a bit in reverse. Because that's the APC 7x5, and this is the TGS 7x5. And yeah, there's quite a bit of difference there. And it's kind of reversed, because there's now more thickness across here on the TGS than there is the 7x5. So again, these are both 7x5s, but they're not the same, but kind of in reverse of the smaller props. And so what happens is you get, I think you do get a slight bit more thrust with the TGS props, but the current draw is huge. It draws so much more current, the TGS 7x5, than the APC 7x5. So warning, if you've used the APC 7x5s and you're quite near the limit of whatever motor it is you're running, and you think, I know, I'll try one of these TGS 7x5s, if you put that on there, you will burn the motor. No doubt you will burn the motor. It's crazy. Especially when you're putting a lot of current through it. They draw a huge amount of current. But if you look at the pitch, let's see if I can look at the pitch. Yeah, there is a bit more. If you see the way it leans over, the way it leans over that way. If you compare these, I'd say that there's more pitch on this. There's more pitch on the TGS 7-inch props. So I think it does slightly even out the bigger you go. I've got a 12x6 prop, and it does still draw more current, the TGS prop, than the APC 7x6, 12x6 I got, but not too much of a difference. So yeah, I think I have seen people put a lot of power through these, and you do get immense speeds with these. So I do want to try and find a motor combo that would run the 7x5 or even a 7x6, one of these, because I reckon it would be very fast. And these are pretty tough when you compare that to APC 7x5. Well, they're about the same toughness, I'd say, but a lot thicker near the hub, so I reckon you could probably put more power through one of these. Right, now let's take a look at the gas props and how they compare. Right, this is actually a 6x4 APC gas prop, and if I compare it to an APC electric, it doesn't look too different face on, but if I compare it there, again you can see how high that initial pitch is on there. And so it's, weirdly, the APC electric will draw more current than the APC gas prop, It's quite strange. I think it's because, you know, initially when people made electric props, they thought that they need to make them thicker, you know, wider, more pitch, because it's not going to be spinning the way it would be in the olden days with a gas engine, you know, petrol engine. So they basically tried to make these more efficient for running at slower speeds, but when they start running at high speeds, they just draw so much more current, which is why I like the TGS props. And yeah, like I showed you, you can see the difference. It's quite a difference. It's I think it's a bit more exaggerated on the 7x5s. Just to show you there. Oh. Just try and get this lined up. Yeah, you can see that a bit more there. And let me just try and get this lined up here. Yeah, you can see the way that's, you know, the initial pitch is more there. Also, the way these look this way on, you can see that it's a much wider area there. And also because the way these are thinner, they're kind of the way these are, they're sort of scooped like that, scooped round more. So it's kind of, you've got the rounded part there and then the concaved part there, whereas with the gas props, they're a lot more rounded. They're a bit thinner and a bit more rounded, so it's a bit more like a decent airfoil, rather than trying to get the same sort of amount of airfoil from just scooping it out. So yeah, but again, what you tend to get is more efficiency with the gas props. That's basically what I'm trying to say, is when you're running them at high speeds, gas props are more efficient, especially when you want to run a lot of power. You know, the electric props were designed a long time ago, and I don't think they're designed to put a huge amount of power through them, whereas the old gas props are a lot tougher. They're made of really thick plastic. I don't know if you can see the difference there of how thick that is. It's quite a difference there. And so you can put a lot more power through a gas prop if you're running anything over 1,000 watts, really. It's normally always better to go with a gas prop. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. So we can get doing a bit of testing, and I'll try and show you how my theories work in the real world. Alright, so I'll just try and choose a motor and get these running up, and I'll show you the differences of how they perform. Actually, before I go and do that, let's just quickly do a measurement on the 7-inch props so you can see the difference. Right, APC Electric 7x5. Just try and get this exactly lined up. There we go. And that is so from the way I'm looking at it, it's spot on 7 inches. So it's spot on 7 inches for the 7-inch prop. Right, TGS 7-inch prop. This is going to be a bit difficult. I might have to do this from backwards because of how thick these things are. Right, so that is exactly on 7, and blimey, that is almost 7¼ inches. So that's how much more prop you're getting. That is almost 7¼ inches. Blimey. So yeah, that's why you do get a bit more thrust out the TGS props. And that's why I like them. It's amazing how also that even though it's slightly longer, you think, oh, it's going to draw more current, but you actually get more thrust out of the TGS props, but it also draws less current, which goes against physics really. It's kind of strange, but anyway, yeah, let's set it up on the thrust stand with the motor and see what we get. Okay, here we are. What I'm going to be using to test the motors is a prop drive 35, 36, 1800 kV motor. For the 7-inch prop tests, I'm going to be using 4-cell, which is a zippy compact 2700 milliamp 60C battery. I've got it plugged into the watt meter, and I'm using a Turnigy AE 65 amp ESC. And yeah, the first prop is the APC Electric prop. So let's, to be fair, I'm just going to give it one run, and I'm going to be sticking it back on charge while I change over the props, so we can try and get a equal reading throughout. Right, so this is the 7-inch prop test. Let's see what thrust we get out of the APC Electric. Blimey. Certainly zinged up. Whoa. 62.7 amps, 963 watts. Blimey. I don't think I've tried this speed controller with this motor before, and it's certainly zinged up. Right. So let's try the APC gas prop. Okay, this is the APC gas prop. I am still on the same battery, everything is still the same motor. So let's see what we get on the thrust. A bit different with this motor, that actually gave less thrust. Yeah, but you can see the current draw is way less. So yeah, it's not quite as much thrust, but you can see it's more efficient. The current draw is, what was that, 10 amps less? So there's yeah, quite a difference there. Right, so that was an APC gas prop. So let's see what we get on the TGS prop. Okay, here we have the TGS 7x5, all 7x5s. Still the same battery, which has been topped up. Still everything the same. I'm expecting quite a high current draw with this one. But let's have a look, see what we get. Well, we've got more thrust than the APC Electric. And let's see what we get. You see what I mean on the current draw with that? That's you've got to be wary with these ones. These are all 7x5, all the same size. But look at the current draw, that's 20 amps more than the APC 7x5. Yeah, I want to do a motor setup that will run one of these within specs, because it would probably be pretty quick, but that's quite a difference. It was a bit more thrust, about 200 grams more thrust, but 20 amp current draw is a bit mental. Right, let's try the 6-inch props, see what differences we get on those. Okay, first prop is a APC Electric 6x4, going in the same order that I did before, and so I can zing these ones up a bit more, get a bit more pace out of them. I'm using a 5-cell, it's a 2650 milliamp 45C zippy 5-cell. All plugged in. So let's see what we get on the thrust. Just over 1600 grams of thrust. At 47.6 amps and 900 watts. Right. Let's have a look at the 6x4 gas prop. Okay, this is now the 6x4 APC gas prop. Still on a 5-cell, been topped up. Let's do a comparison. There's a bit more thrust there than the electric. And less current draw. So you've got a bit more thrust there and a bit less current draw. So on the 6-inch props, they're more efficient, you get more thrust and less current draw. Right, let's try the TGS props. Okay, this is the TGS 6x4 prop. They're in all 6x4 props. These are also known as KMP props on Banggood, and still on the 5-cell. Right, so let's see what a difference this makes. Wow, that was 300 grams more thrust than the APC Electric. And less current draw. So there's a bit more current draw than the APC gas prop, but less current draw than the APC Electric, but way more thrust than both. Significantly more thrust than both. Right. Yeah, so that's quite definitive there why I like the TGS props. 6 inches and below anyway. The 7 inch ones are a bit unusable really, for the 7 inch and up. But anyway, that's my comparison test of all the different different types of prop. See, so you can see there that, you know, not all props are the same. You got to think about doing a bit more testing before sticking a prop on. It's unless you measure the thrust, you just don't know. Just going by what, you know, current draw is and what you don't know, because just putting the prop on that you think is producing more power because it draws more current and you get more watts from it, doesn't mean you're getting more thrust. Because if anything, you're kind of, in some ways it's the opposite. So you want more thrust for the less current draw, really. So because then your battery doesn't sag as much and your voltage drop doesn't go down too far, and your RPMs will then be up, because as you know, all motors are rated in kV. As you can see, this is at 1800 kV, so whatever volts you're putting into it determines how fast the motor spins. So if you're putting a heavy current draw on it, there's actually less volts going to your motor. So in other words, it's not spinning as fast. You may get a higher figure of watts, but it doesn't mean you're getting more thrust. Yeah, so that's basically how I test motors, because it's not always about higher watt figures. So it's a bit different to what a lot of people think. It's about efficiency. So yeah, that's basically my theories on how it works. If you've got any questions or points of view, leave them in the comments below. And if you like this video, click like and subscribe, and maybe do some more theory videos, and you can see all my other motor test videos as well. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye bye.